Hello you beautiful souls, welcome here. Today we've got a very unusual video because I'm going to be talking about astrology. And a few days ago, very recently, I realized that I want to do astrology videos, astrology readings on my channel. And I decided to give it a few days and not act immediately on it because we are in the eclipse seasons and people feel all sorts of ways and totally want to reinvent themselves. And I was like, I'll give it a few days. I won't act on it straight away. I'll sleep on it. It didn't go anywhere. Still on my mind heavily. Still want to do this. Still very passionate. And astrology is one of my loves. Of course, tarot, but also astrology. I've always been passionate about it. I've always been learning and studying. And it was actually the first window into spirituality that I had. The first door that opened me towards spirituality was astrology, was the language of the sky. So, today we are going to talk about the most near transit. And in my videos I'm going to be talking about lunations and transits, important transits and eclipses that I feel are very relevant and very important in our lives. So today we are talking about Mars retrograde in Gemini that is going to be happening from 30th of October, which is tomorrow, until 12th of January. And Mars is doing this interesting dance in Gemini for 7 months, which is very rare. It's a really long time for Mars to be in one sign, and it will exit Gemini in the March of next year, 2023. So we've got a lot of time dealing with Martian Gemini stuff. So Mars Gemini. Mars goes retrograde every 26 months. So not very often, not as often as Mercury. And it's a very important time. It's going to be affecting all of us. And we will talk about all of the signs later on in this video. I will break down sign by sign. But talking about Mars in general, what does Mars mean for all of us? It's aggression, it's passion, it's forward action, it's movement, it's overcoming obstacles, it's pushing things to resolution, it's achieving your goals. Mars rules the sign of Aries. And I always imagine Mars as breaking the wall with your head. For some reason, I want to make it happen, and I'll break this wall with my head until I do this, until it's done, until I reach my goal. Mars is a warrior, and whatever Mars is placed in your chart, that's where you get proactive the most. That's where you get the most angry. That's where you get the most sometimes agitated, sometimes passive-aggressive, depending on the aspects to your Mars and the sign that is placed in. But Mars in Gemini carries this feeling, well, not the feeling, the meaning. Gemini is the talking sign. Gemini is communication. Gemini is information. And Mars in Gemini can be quite sharp with words. All of us, we can have a really good verbal punch. So from the 30th of October until the 12th of January, it's going to be amplified. When Mars goes retrograde, the energy of Mars manifests a bit more sporadically, or sometimes we want to achieve something and we get angry that we cannot achieve it as fast as we want to achieve it. Things slow down, and then we get kind of frustrated and angry at circumstances, angry at ourselves. Maybe we have to redo a few things when Mars goes retrograde. And in Gemini, sometimes we can be very impulsive, very expressive with our words, sometimes even mean, because Gemini is communication, talking, one-on-one talking, expressing your opinion. So yeah, it would be a very good idea to kind of think twice before saying something, because I feel like many of us might break important ties that with people, with our loved ones even, that will be very difficult to mend after this Mars retrograde. We will definitely speak our minds, that's what I'm feeling for sure. But Also, Mars rules sharp objects. Mars rules the sign of Scorpio and the sign of Aries. These two signs or archetypes rule surgeries, transportation, heavy machinery, operating heavy machinery, handling sharp objects. So all of those things we have to be more careful with. Have to check everything 2, 5, 10 times before, I don't know, cutting your vegetables, before shaving even, before getting angry in the traffic or while you're driving, because Mars rules transportation, cars. Buying cars wouldn't be the best time during Mars retrograde, especially in Gemini. Gemini is also the sign of transportation, movement. It's a very fast sign. Even bicycles, I wouldn't recommend buying a bicycle or a car, any transportation during this time. Also, you guys, doing surgeries is not the best idea during this time, especially plastic surgeries or something that if you want to beautify yourself somehow, maybe, I don't know, the Botox or whatnot, including needles, or maybe getting tattoo, because it also includes sharp objects. You'll probably have to redo whatever it is that you're doing again during the next Mars retrograde cycle. So although if you have a tattoo that you're not happy with, or you have a surgery that you're not happy with, and you would like to change it, you would like it to be redone, or maybe you would like to retouch it or cover it up with something else, this could be quite a beneficial time. But if it's something new, something you haven't done before, and you would like to go into that procedure, probably wait out until the 12th of January, when Mars is out of its retrograde motion. Yeah, that's about it. Now you guys, let's go to predictions for all of the 12 signs, and here I would ask you to check your ascendant sign. First and foremost, your rising sign. This prediction would be the most accurate, the most literal. The manifestation of this transit would be the most literal to you in your life. But you can also watch your sun sign prediction. This will have like a secondary meaning for you and in your life. So let's start with our beautiful Aries people. And this transit is happening in your third house of communication, talking, siblings, neighbors, immediate environment, and learning. Some of you might be fixing some kind of documents. Where is my birth certificate? I need it immediately. Maybe you lost it, you need to find it. Maybe some of you are changing your last name. I'm gonna give you a real life example. My mom is an Aries Ascendant person, Aries rising, and she is currently doing a lot of documentary work. Can you say that, documentary? A lot of work connected to documents and legal stuff, because she was divorced and now she's changing her last name. She's bringing her maiden name back in her documents. I don't know if it's the same in other countries, but that's what you do in Russia, if you wish to. And she needs to bring up her birth certificates, her school documents to do that, and she's constantly at the town council signing things. This is all of the third house energy. It's communication, it's fixing documents, it's there could be some issues that you need to deal with in regards to your siblings, in regards to your brothers and sisters. There might be some heavy, difficult communication that you have to go over, do discussions, maybe a little bit of passive aggression between you and them. Maybe you feel like they don't really understand you on some level. Maybe you're trying to make a point. There's just this feeling that at this time you are very willful, and whatever other people say to you, it's like you wanna push back and reflect everything and say, no, this is what I want to do, this is my truth, this is what I believe in, and I don't even want to discuss whatever it is that you're trying to make me understand, make me do. Very willful, very powerful energy, especially for Aries rising people who are very independent, very ambitious. and there might be short trips that you are taking, and very likely to the place that you've been before, because retrograde is connected to something from the past, something you've done before, a place that you've been before. And these are short trips, usually around your country or around your even like state or neighborhood, not too far. Third house, what else? Learning something, and I would even say relearning something, some skills, some maybe taking short courses like webinars, buying some webinars and gaining more knowledge on something. It's almost like I feel like I'm missing out some information. I'm missing out on some information. There are gaps in my knowledge, and in order to fill them, I need to take this little course, I need to read this book quickly, and I need to go on that seminar, meet with these people, and gain that knowledge. Third house. But overall, I do feel like it's documents for the majority of you. Changing documents, redoing them, maybe fixing your car if you have car problems. The third house rules our transportation modes, our what gives us the chance to travel, to move in life, to move around. Fixing your car, fixing your technology as well. Gemini rules technology, fixing your phone, fixing, I don't know, updating your software on your computer, updating your phone in some way, I don't know, even buying a new case for your phone if it's all like withered and falling apart. That could be the energy of the Mars retrograde. Maybe you shattered the glass, oh my gosh, the screen on your phone, and you need to fix it. You need to take it to a person who puts the new screen or fixes the phone completely. So things like that. And definitely watch out for the things that you say to others, because you will be sharp. You will be shooting right to the painful place in others, painful spot in others. Being more soft-spoken, being more willing to compromise, willing to listen to other people would be a good idea. Yeah, so that's your prediction for this transit, Aries. I hope it helps you, and I hope you have a wonderful time, and I'll see you in my next video. Now going to our beautiful Taurus people. Hello Taurus. This transit is going to be happening in your second house of finances, of self-value, of your voice, of your health, of your family and eating habits. Mars in the second house definitely will have you look at your finances, your earnings, maybe how much you spend your money, how well you spend your money, how finding ways to earn more money, finding ways to save money. Maybe some of you will go into learning financial, like learning budgeting, learning financial literacy, maybe dealing with banks, dealing with some kind of debt, maybe covering some debt. This can happen for you. Getting very active and proactive about your money in general. For example, I got very frustrated with how much I've spent during the last year, 6 months, and I want to totally change my budgeting style. I want to totally change my habits when it comes to spending money. I want to save for this big goal that I have. I want to find more sources of income to feel more stable, more secure in the future. Also, Mars in the second house, Mars retrograde, may start you thinking about your value and get very willful and forceful about how you see your value and how other people make you feel, how your life makes you feel in regards to your value. It's almost like getting very, how do I explain it well? From a psychological point of view, not compromising on your value anymore. This could include the prices of your services. This could include the family conversations, how I allow other people to talk to me or treat me, conversations with your employee or employers, colleagues, people around you in general. It's almost like reinventing your value and realizing that you deserve more, or you would like to be treated better, or you would like to be respected, and maybe you were self-sacrificing in the past or giving too much of yourself in the past. Now you would like to kind of cleanse your mind, reinvent your mind, push away, cleanse all of those stories, all of those narratives that you had about who you are, how much you're worth, how much your services are worth, how much you can earn in this life, how much you can spend, dealing with all of that. And it feels like there is a lot of internal conversations, meaning a lot of internal talking and talking with others even about money, about your value, about saving and budgeting, things like that. Also, the second house is eating, ingesting things, and you might look at your eating habits. Dieting could be the case here, or cooking your food, because Mars is a very active planet, active energy, and in the second house it's in regards to food. You could be very proactive about finding new dishes, finding new eating styles, I don't know, veganism, keto, I don't know, going back to meat, and then redoing your eating habits in general. So I think that's that. Quite an interesting placement. I don't feel like it will involve other people too much, only in regards to your value and how you communicate it to others, but other than that, it's more so focused on money, on finances, and how you see yourself earning in the future, saving money, and value. Your value is like, I feel like the center theme this winter, definitely. So this is all I have for you, Taurus. Wish you all the best, and now we are going to Gemini. Now going to our beautiful Gemini. Hello Gemini people. This transit of Mars retrograde, is happening in your first house, since you are Gemini Ascendant people. You yourself will embody this energy of Mars retrograde, very likely. You're going to get more feisty, more proactive, you will speak your mind more forcefully and more in a more brave way, in a more courageous way, where in the past you would hide things, you would possibly try to please others, try to see things from different perspectives. Now it's like, this is my truth, this is what I believe in, and I'm gonna speak it. I'm gonna voice my concerns, I'm gonna be myself, I'm gonna speak my mind. Mars in the first house can give you a lot of energy overall. Even if it's Mars retrograde, you might feel overly excited, overly almost like hyped up, I would say. You might struggle to sleep, you might struggle to relax. Some of you might go into sports, and it's likely something that you've done before, maybe running, maybe walking, like jogging for some of you, because Gemini rules our feet and movement and walking, so that could be the case. Overall, you would become a little bit Aries-like during this period, and this Mars is making an opposition to your 7th house. So here I would say you guys watch out for conflicts with your partner, with your marriage partner, with your romantic partner, if you have a committed relationship, because you can be quite handful for people who deal with you. But also maybe it's time, maybe you've been swallowing your truth for quite a long time, and now you're ready to just speak your mind, rethink a few things from the past and reflect on them, and then voice what you're not happy about. This is the chance. It's almost like going back to things you want to redo about yourself, about your relationships, about your life in general, getting proactive about your life. Where am I headed? What is my trajectory at this time? How do I want to change it? And being ready and willing and having enough energy to do that. Even though Mars retrograde may give you a few delays, may kind of frustrate you at times, but I feel like you have enough fuel inside of you enough desire to change your life. It's like now is the time. I'm ready. And learning new things, having conversations that in the past you would shy away from, or you would be worried about going into. Now I can do it. It's this bravery. Mars is the sign of a warrior, of a protector, of somebody who defends. And it's almost like I'm going to defend myself this time. I'm going to prove myself, even if I'm going to prove myself to myself. Very proactive time. And be patient with yourself. I would give you this advice: be patient with yourself, Gemini, because sometimes you may get frustrated with your body. Possibly something doesn't look as nice as I would like it to just yet, so I need to work out more and faster, and I need to speed up, or I need to starve myself. Don't go to extremes. Take your time. If you are doing some sports to lose weight, take your time. Don't rush the process. Don't get frustrated with yourself, with your life, with the fact that things might be going slower than you want them to. It's all fine. You'll reach your goal. You will. Just be patient with yourself. So I think this is all I have for you, Gemini. Now we are going to Cancer. Hello, my beautiful Cancer Ascendant people, or Sun people, my beautiful brothers and sisters, because I'm also Cancer Sun. This transit, this Mars retrograde in Gemini is happening in your 12th house, the house of isolation, the house of spirituality, the house of self-undoing, self-sabotage, the house of retreats, the house of creativity, the house of sleeping, the house of dealing with mental issues, the house of karma. Very interesting position for you guys. I feel that you will be dealing with internal stuff, mostly with the ways you've been self-sabotaging yourself, with the ways you maybe have been struggling with asserting yourself, with asserting your truth, with there's almost this passive-aggressive nature to Mars in the 12th house. I have this urge, I have this pull, I have this desire, I have this sometimes aggression, but I cannot express it. It's stifled. It's like I'm swallowing it, and it turns into intrusive thoughts. It turns into anxiety, possibly panic attacks sometimes. It turns into sleepless nights, and it's eating me up. It's making me feel trapped a little bit. And I feel like this Mars retrograde is giving you a chance to deal with all of that. It's giving you a chance to deal with who are you angry at, and why don't you express it in a healthy way? Why don't you talk to that person? Who are you resentful? What are you resentful about? And I feel this is the good time for you guys to slow down and think about, okay, what is that big goal that I'm trying to achieve? What is that big final destination that I'm rushing towards all my life? Why am I not living here? Why am I not enjoying where I am now? Why don't I just sit down and meditate for a second? Why don't I just be with myself here and now? Why don't I just go into nature and absorb everything? Absorb this beautiful air, this scenery, this leaves, this greenery. What am I chasing? What am I chasing? And why does it always feel like I'll never reach that place? I'll never reach that goal. For you guys, I feel like you need to slow down, and this Mars and Gemini will help you do that. I feel like you'll be forced. The more negative manifestation of this will be you'll be forced, and the most positive is you will willingly go into spiritual practices or revisit some spiritual practices that you used to enjoy in the past. Meditation, maybe doing yoga, maybe doing fasting, divinations of all kind, therapy, art therapy, fantastic for this time. Doing something by yourself, not to impress others, not to achieve some goal and be clapped for by society. I'm doing this for myself. I'm right here in my corner painting this picture. I'm right here making my music, playing my piano, composing something. I'm right here reading this book and getting incredible insights. And this is a fantastic time for you to be active for yourself and for your well-being. I hope it makes sense. Not for others, not for anybody else, for yourself. And let go of rushing, let go of schedules, let go, because it's the 6th house, all about schedules, the Virgo energy, all about being on time, reaching your goals, routines. I need to do that and that and that, and I need to be more hasty, I need to speed up. 12th house is slowing down, going on retreats, going to monasteries, going traveling. 12 houses, faraway lands. Some of you, this would be a fantastic time to travel to a place that is really far away from you, not near town, not your state even. It could be another country, but very likely the country that you've been to before, because it's the meaning of the retrograde. Something from the past, something that we've done before, or a place that we've been to before. So you have enough energy, or there will be an opportunity to revisit something or somewhere, a certain place that is far away from you, from where you're located. So yeah, very interesting period. For some of you, battling your inner demons, and the way you would self-sabotage your happiness or stop yourself in your own tracks, or not allow yourself to progress in life. Slowing down, talking to yourself, talking to your inner demons, facing them and becoming friends with them, I would say. Befriending them, and not even being your own enemy. People say that the 12th house is the house of hidden enemies, and here I would say your enemy, your hidden enemy, would be your either fears or your worries and insecurities that you have to deal with. Cancers. So I hope you have a easy and comfortable Mars retrograde in Gemini for the next few months. And now we are going to Leo. Hello my beautiful Leos, this is your prediction for Mars retrograde in Gemini, and this transit is happening in your 11th house of friendships, future goals, connections with people that you have common interests with, and wishes, hopes and aspirations in life. This feels like getting back to some friendships and reevaluating them. Do I really want to be friends with these people anymore? Do we resonate really? Are we made of the same stuff? Do we see life in a similar way? Do I still belong in these communities? Do I really want to be friends with a certain person? I do feel like there is a chance for having possibly some fired up conversations with a friend, or some kind of friend from the past is showing up in the picture in your life and you don't know what to do about it. You don't know how to take it. Maybe you've kind of went your separate ways in the past and now they're back, this person, and they want to talk with you all of a sudden. They want to meet with you, they want to exchange ideas with you, and you are so important for them right now, and you feel like you've outgrown them, or you feel like do we still have anything in common? Do I want to talk to this person? Do I want to spend my time with them? Yeah, just dealing with, there's a lot of combative energy. Mars is aggression, is conflicts, is willful actions in regards to your friendships. Communication, especially since it's the sign of Gemini, talking with your friends, talking with your community, and you might have to be careful and smooth a few sharp corners with your friends, with your with the people that surround you by choice, that you surround yourself with by choice, I should say, because you're similar, because you have similar ideas, similar desires. This time you might have might observe some differences in how you think, in what you believe in your future goals. And yeah, for some of you it might be a fated time to let go of a certain friend, or realize that it's just it's draining me, this friendship is just not doing me any good. It's time to part our ways, or it's time to part our ways. Can you say that? Part ways with this person, or it's time for me to speak my truth, for me to be real with them, for me to say, no, this is not right, this is not friendship, I'm not being treated well by you, I don't like to continue some kind of conversation, I don't like to participate in this. Be a bit rigid and very real, very straight to the point. Also for you guys, you might have to evaluate your dreams, hopes and wishes for the future. For example, I wanted this is how I saw my life being in 5 years time. Now this Mars retrograde may make you think about it. Does it really work for me? Is this what I really want? What else can be done right now to achieve it? Maybe there is some more work that I need to do now in order to see whether that dream is still valid for me. Something like that. It's reevaluating your future, almost like the big wish that you have, the big picture of the future. Is it still relevant for me? Or is there some internal conflict inside of me that is keeping me away from reaching that dream, or making me feel uncomfortable about the process of getting there? So yeah, a bit of tension in regards to your future and your desires, your hopes and dreams, Leos. Some of you might just get active about reaching your goal, about reaching your final dream, that final destination of yours, whatever it is. Career achievement, relationship related, money related, or maybe like some big project. I want to make it happen faster, and I'm gonna get really proactive. I'm gonna sit down and I'm gonna put all of my effort into this one thing, because I feel like I'm getting closer, because I feel like there's this opportunity to redo something, perfect something. But be patient with yourself, because this transit may frustrate you at times. It might give you the sense of things being delayed. Yeah, stick to your course of action, but be patient, and don't be too harsh on yourself and frustrated if you are at this age and your dream hasn't come to fruition yet. So yeah, patience definitely with this transit. I feel like this is something I'm saying for all of the signs, but it's what we will be needing definitely. So this is all I have for you, Leos. Now we are going to Virgo. Hello my beautiful Virgos. This transit, Mars retrograde in Gemini, is happening in your 10th house, which is your angular house, so this will affect you very strongly. The 10th house rules your career, your reputation, your goals in life, where you're striving towards. This is the highest point of your chart, but it also rules authority figures, bosses, father-like figures. So there could be some difficulties, some tension at your workplace, in your career. Your boss might get a bit difficult to deal with. You might have struggles or difficult conversations with people that you work for. If you don't work for anybody, this can be your father or some authority figure in your life that you have tensions with, you have to go through difficult discussions with, or maybe you get anxious and angry about something in regards to your father, the 10th house. Overall, the way you will be perceived by the world will be more of Martian energy, of somebody proactive, somebody who has a goal, somebody who's very who has a lot of energy, a bit combative. And I do feel like you will be redoing something in regards to your career, reinventing your public image in some way. Maybe this is what I was doing in the past in regards to my job, my industry, or the literal career that I had. Now I want to reevaluate. Am I really good at that? How can I improve my career? How can I find the best, optimal, effective ways of doing my job, my career. Clarifying things. With the Gemini, it's almost like clarifying things in your career. The confusion, the things that you were not comfortable with. Speaking your truth in regards to your career. Being more proactive about who you are in the world. This is who I am, and I don't care about other people's opinions. Clarifying things for others about who you are. Showing up in the world more actively out there in the world. Yeah. But definitely watch out for conflicts, miscommunication, passive aggressive tendencies with people in power, with people that you work with, or with father figures in your life. Yeah. Maybe it is your father. Sometimes the angular houses, they represent people in our life. The 10th house, it could be the father, that something happens in their life that you will get to observe or be affected by. Maybe your father travels with Gemini. Maybe your father takes important some kind of educational course, or something very radical happens in their life and it affects you in some way. Maybe they're changing careers, moving, things like that. So yeah, is this everything I wanted to say for you, Virgos? And in general, for the sign of Virgo, especially if you are the Virgo Ascendant person, career is important for you. How people see you is important for you. You're not somebody flamboyant and like easygoing about your career and the way you dress, the way you show up in the world. You have to be, there's this perfectionist quality to you a little bit. And this will be a good time for you to reevaluate how you want to be seen by the outside world, by your colleagues, by the people who observe you in your professional settings, by people in general. How do they see your reputation? And whether you want to tweak it a little bit so it fits who you are and who you want to be in the future. So that's all I have for you, Virgo. I hope this was helpful, and now we are going to Libra. Hello my beautiful Libras, this Mars retrograde transit is happening in your 9th house of faraway lands, or traveling, of education, of our beliefs, of the truth, what we see as the truth for ourselves in life, what we believe in, our faith, and teachers and gurus. So this is a very interesting transit because some of you will get an opportunity to travel finally. There will be a chance for you to go to a place where you've likely been before because it's Mars retrograde. Or if you haven't been to that place, then you've been planning to go there in the past. So you've been making plans, you possibly made your visa or bought tickets, but this journey fell through. Nothing happened. Now there's this window of opportunity to do that again, to redo that trip, to achieve that destination, to make it happen, especially with the energy of Gemini, which is all about travel, new experiences. And it could literally be a chance to, I don't know, do visa process, find documents that were missing in order to maybe immigrate, kind of the situation. The example I have in my mind is like, where's my birth certificate? I needed to apply for, I don't know, green card or something like that, and you are going into this process of finding all the little details from your past, all of the documents to make sure you're allowed to travel to a certain place or to relocate, or yeah, in general traveling could be an issue for you. Well, not an issue, something that you're very focused on, something that you're very devoted to, or that you are considering going back and forth about during the next few months. Also your truth, what you believe in. It's like, what, even reconsidering your religion if you're religious. Do I really want to continue being Catholic? Do I want to be participating in devotionals, in like the practices done by Catholic religion? Do I want to go to church every Sunday? Do I want to pray? Do I still believe in what I used to believe all my life? and reevaluating the acts, almost like the practical, actual things you would do for that faith, for that, maybe if you're not religious, maybe you're spiritual. Do I still believe in, I don't know, positive thinking, the law of attraction, the shadow work, or do I have new ideas? Do I have my doubts? Do I want to reevaluate that and see how it worked for me in the past or didn't work for me in the past? Your truth. What is your truth? What do you believe in? Who do you believe? Since the 9th house is also the house of gurus and teachers, do I want to be listening to that person, that guru, or like Osho or somebody like that? Do I feel like I trust them still? Do I want to continue adjusting my life according to what they preach? Things like that. Some of you also could go into education, and since it's the 9th house, not the 3rd house, it's the real education, like going, becoming enrolled to a certain university. For some of you it's coming back to school, because it's Mars retrograde, coming back to school if you had like a gap year or you couldn't graduate for some reason. For others it's if you're going to university for the first time, reapplying if something didn't work out in the past, choosing another university, and it's almost like you have to go through the process again in order to become enrolled, in order to come back to school, or in order to pass some tests in regards to your education, to receive that diploma, to receive that degree. Maybe I need to study hard, put a lot of my time and effort to graduate, to finally get that kind of, what is that? How is it called when you graduate and they give you a label, like I'm a psychologist, I'm a doctor, I'm an engineer. So education could be very important for you guys. Yeah, is that everything I wanted to say for you, Libra? I think so. Yeah, travel, education, and your truth and your beliefs might need more of your attention and more of your energy, more of your time during the next few months. Now we are going to Scorpio. Scorpio people, this transit of Mars retrograde in Gemini is happening in your 8th house, which is quite an intense house, and I like it because this house originally is ruled by Scorpio, which is the sign ruled by Mars. So it's quite a comfortable place for Mars to be. But this is Mars retrograde cycle. So you guys will have to deal with taxes, with inheritance, possibly with other people's money, with debt, with money of your partner, if you have a partner, and also with your fears, with your deepest fears, with your deep psychological wounds, trauma. This feels like becoming stronger. This feels like overcoming issues that are nagging on you, that are burdening you, and becoming free, becoming independent. The 8th house, I believe, after observing so many charts and kind of seeing the connection, I believe the 8th house contains a lot of wounds, traumas and fears, and whatever, especially fears, and whatever planet we have sitting in our 8th house in the natal chart, it's something that we fear a lot, something that we are very afraid of. And there are many people in my life, actually my friends and the partner I had, who had their sun in the 8th house. And what I've noticed, almost every single time, the sun is the authority figure. The sun is the person we have to kind of adhere, kind of I don't want to say be submissive to. It's like a father figure. This is like royalty. This is like government. This is like somebody in power. And all of the people who had the sun in the 8th house, they had some issues with their fathers. They had this unconscious, I would say, fear, or it's almost like the father figure in their life had a lot of power over them and their psychological processes and the decisions they were making in life. And I could always observe it, like in the smallest situations, the smallest moments in life. I could see that even the conversations those people have with their fathers, it's like, this is just an example, maybe this is not your case, but to make a point that the 8th house is very connected to fears, what you're afraid of. If it's the moon that you have in the 8th house, you're very afraid of being vulnerable, showing your emotions, being hurt because of how emotional you are, how vulnerable and soft you are. Being afraid of your mom in some way, or cautious with your mom, having some issues and conflicts with your mom. So for you guys, having this transit in your 8th house, I do feel like you will face your fears and almost like courageously go over them. This is not working for me. I'm self-sabotaging myself and my life. I cannot achieve the certain goal because I'm afraid of doing certain things, because I'm afraid of confronting certain people, because I'm afraid of whatever it is. Whatever your situation is, I'm afraid of traveling, but I want to live in that certain country. I'm afraid of flying. I'm afraid of pursuing that opportunity because I'm scared that I will lose this security. Whatever you are scared of, I feel like you will have a chance. It's almost like now or never. I have to do it. I have to face this fear. I have to deal with it and then be freed and then be liberated. Face this fear. It's like taking this leap of faith and confronting something that you're very afraid of, but something that is keeping you stuck, something that is keeping you in maybe victim mentality, or something that makes you act from a almost like childlike place. The 8th house is such a deep house to talk about, to explain. But it's deep work. It could involve therapy. It could involve just getting real, crying, purging, getting down to the core, the bottom of the issue, whatever issue you're dealing with, be it something relational in regards to your partnerships, that's something that you're afraid of, or something that is burdening you, making you feel shackled, be it something that you're afraid of about yourself, your own personality, about life in general, about your career. And with Gemini, sorting things out in your head, becoming clear, this is not serving me, I have to purge this. I have to fight this demon of my own, or this kind of fear of my own, for myself. Powerful placement, powerful. I don't feel like it will be easy, but it will be worth it when you're on the other side, totally worth it. You will feel so much more free after you're done with this transit, after Mars goes into stationary and then direct motion. So yeah, for some of you also liberating yourself from being tied to other people's possessions or resources. For example, if you're a housewife and you depend on your husband, you realize that you don't like to you would like your own self-sufficiency, you would like your own money, you would like to be more independent. And or maybe if you were living with your parents and they were paying for your education, your housing, whatnot, and you feel like you're not comfortable, you want to be more, stand on your own 2 feet. This could be a moment when you shift your life, change your life, tweak it a little bit to feel like you're doing good by yourself, on your own. You don't need anybody's help in hand or support or somebody to provide for you, for example. So yeah, what else? Dealing with debt, letting go of debt, covering debt, things like that. Doing taxes. I'm not sure when it's the period for taxes, doing, my gosh, my English brain, come online. But you could be dealing with taxes, maybe preparing the documents for taxes, or fixing the mistakes in your taxes documents or legal documents. This could be something that you decide to do at this time. And I think that's that. Yeah, this is all I have for you, Scorpio. I hope this period goes smoothly for you. You are at least a bit more or less comfortable in it, let's say that. I hope this is not too intense for you, and good luck. Now we are going to Sagittarius, and this transit is happening in your 7th house of partnerships, of one-on-one relationships, of committed relationships, and business partnerships as well. It does feel like you'll be communicating with your partners a lot, and you'll have to go over the things that you were not happy about in the past. It does look like a scenario where you'll wake up one day and turn to your partner and say, remember that day in 2008 where you did that and that? I still remember it. This is like a very petty example, but this could happen for a few people, and you just to watch out for those moments when you get passive-aggressive all of a sudden, or you remember how they did something wrong in the past and you suddenly want to put everything on the table and get into this fight, conflict, and be harsh with your words, since it's Gemini again in your 7th house, and discussing things. For some of you it might be very much needed. It's the time. If you've been, especially in the past, keeping things hush, if you've been trying to keep peace, if you were not speaking your mind in your relationships, in your partnerships, maybe now is the time. Now is the time to discuss. I don't like how we've been doing this so far, how we've been dealing with this issue. I don't like how you've been treating me throughout this period of time. Coming back to the past, bringing examples and communicating, but try to communicate with patience, with acceptance. Do not rush communication. Do not be impulsive. Do not try to stay away from this, being in this triggered state. You triggered me back then, so now I'm gonna get spiky on you. I'm gonna be very sharp in my communication and make you feel the pain. Yeah, discussing things with your partner, your committed partner, maybe talking over. For some of you, you might feel like getting active with your partner about your relationship, getting proactive. What do we want to do about our partnership? Where do we want to take it? What is the future of our partnership? Possibly healing the relationship, going to couple therapy could be a good idea here. Discussing things, talking about things, talking about the future, talking about what can be done now and what can we fix that is not working anymore for us. So yeah, and the same goes for business partnerships. If you're working with somebody, discussing things that have not been working and implementing change. So I think that's all I have for you, Sagittarius. Now we are going to Capricorn. Hello my beautiful Capricorn people. I apologize for the noise. My dog is scratching at the door. She wants to come in, but I don't want to get distracted. I'm gonna finish and then go play with her. This transit of Mars retrograde is happening in your 6th house, and it talks about your everyday routines, about your health, about your work, and the way you are diligent, the way you are devoted to things basically that needs to be done. Stuff that needs to be done in your life, your job, it could be related to your career, it could be related to everyday chores, it could be related to your lifestyle in general, looking over things that are not working for you anymore. Maybe some kind of, I would even say transportation, maybe the way you get to A to B, the way you spend more time than necessary on something that you're doing, and you wanna have more free time, for example, or you want to be more efficient in doing something. You feel like you've been stuck, you've been keeping at one thing, you've been trying to achieve a certain goal, but you are either going too slow, or you spend more energy and not getting enough equivalent reward back. it does feel like tweaking everyday things, dealing with your sleeping patterns, dealing with your health, dealing with your diet, possibly something that you will go over. How can I gain more energy overall? How can I be more energetic, more healthy, more productive in life? Maybe there's something that I was doing in the past that was working for me. For example, some sport, some exercise routine. Maybe I was jogging and I was feeling good in the past. Now I want to start jogging again. I want to work out again. Maybe you will. And it does feel like something that you know. It doesn't feel like a new routine. It's something that you've done before. Doing that again. Kind of starting a new diet. So your gut is more healthy and you are more productive and your health improves. But likely something, maybe the way you've been eating before in the past. Yeah, routines. Trying to wake up early, for example, and have more hours in a day. Health checks would be a good idea. Going to a health check, checking your body for maybe taking some vitamins if you're lacking something. Repeating, like if you've done a course of taking, I don't know, iron, magnesium, and then doing it again this time to make sure that you keep up with your vitamins or your hormones. But make sure you go to your doctor and they help you with all of that. Don't just buy any vitamins on a whim or any medicine for that matter. Yeah, I do feel like your health will take your priority, your well-being and your health. How much energy do I have on a daily basis? Why do I have so little? Or why do I have, for example, too much free time? This could be an opposite situation. Why do I have too much free time? I could do something useful with it. Or I could incorporate something from the past into my daily habits and into my daily routines, and doing that and feeling much more proactive, much more efficient. Also, the 6th house rules pets. And here you might have some difficulties with pets if you have any. They may get a bit aggressive. For example, your dog gets kind of frustrated with something, or aggressive at other dogs or their owners, or too active. Or they may have some, I don't want to say health issues, but something, they might need your attention a little bit more. I'm so sorry you guys, my camera died for a second, but we are continuing. I also wanted to say that now is not the best time to get a pet. If you wanted to get a pet, because with the Mars retrograde in your 6th house, there might be some difficulties with documents, especially with Gemini energy, especially if you're adopting a pet, and you will need the documents for that pet, or maybe vaccinations, something might be missing, or you won't have enough information about that pet. Maybe eventually they have some behavioral issues or something like that. It's better to wait out until Mars is out of this retrograde on 12th of January. So don't rush into this process with pets if that's something that you were planning. Of course, not everybody would like to adopt pets. So yeah, I think that's that. 6th house issues, everything we talked about. And I wish you a comfortable Mars retrograde period, Capricorns. Hopefully it's comfortable and it brings you more joy in your daily routines and you feel more energetic and more efficient. Now we are going to Aquarius. Aquarius people, Aquarius brothers and sisters, because I'm an Aquarius rising actually. And we've got this transit Mars retrograde in the 5th house. Okay, some of us might have past lovers knock on our door, come back into our life, people that we were in romantic connections with, romantic relationships with, and they might come fast and very fiery and unexpected. And I don't want to say that this is a bad omen. I don't want to say that you should push them away and be done with them. I feel like there is something that's left unsaid. And there is a good reason why Mars is doing this dance, this retrograde period for us in our fifth house, because we need to talk. We need to have either closure or to clarify a few things, because it feels like there are almost like missing words in the air. Something was not said, And that is why Mars is giving this extra energy for us and for that other person, to come back together and discuss something, and to get raw and real and honest, and go over things that maybe didn't work out in the past, and discuss why they didn't, and not blame each other, not basically to forgive or to get closure, and for some even to work out some issues in this connection, or in general in your love life, in your romantic life. Also, the 5th house is the house of children. If you have children, they may need some more of your attention, of your energy. You might have to spend some more time with them, fix some issues. For example, if they have problems with school, Gemini stuff, Gemini rules education, information, schooling, learning. So you might need to maybe help them with their homework a bit more, maybe help them with their take them to some extra classes or something like that. I don't know, helping them with sports. Mars is the very active energy, is ruling over sports. Maybe enroll your kid in a certain sport that they were doing in the past and stop doing because it's the retrograde energy, something from the past. And also your kids might get a bit frustrated about something, or it might be difficult to get on the same page with them, especially when for those kids that can already talk, they might get very agitated and angry, and you may get in a conflict. If it's tiny little babies, newborns, they might cry a bit more. Gemini is the voice, is talking, and with Mars there, yeah. Also, if you've been trying to have kids, there's a good chance of that happening when Mars turns direct on 12th of January. So this is a good period to try again. Possibly if you've been trying before and then gave up, now you could try again, and then you'll get successful eventually. You might conceive, or your partner may conceive. It does feel like you have enough energy to put into this area of your life right now and reap the rewards from that. It's like I have to reconsider, I have to try again. Maybe your views on having children change completely. In the past I didn't want to have children, now I feel like I want to, and I want now. I'm very excited about it. I'm very passionate about having kids. I feel like it's time, so this might happen. What else? Your self-expression, you guys. Your hobbies, your passions, your side hustles, things that fire you up, things that inspire you. Art, music, acting, comedy, whatnot, whatever it is that creative endeavors. Going back to something that was inspiring you in the past, that was making you feel alive, that you were losing yourself in the process of doing. Going back to that, starting that again. Dancing, painting, sewing, playing music, whatever it is. I feel like you'll do that again. Maybe you'll master some skills or some talents of yours, and then you can eventually kind of display them for bigger audience when Mars comes out of its retrograde motion. Yeah, self-expression, things you enjoy, what brings you joy, what brings you happiness, reevaluating that, going back to something. It's like, I really enjoyed doing that in the past. Why don't I do it again? Why don't I try again? Why don't I go to a certain, like to a museum or to a theater, or why don't I start improving this skill of mine? Yeah, and I think is that everything? And also in regards to your love life, for those of you who are very single and there is nobody from the past that can come back, I feel like you might be very excited about dating, about your romantic life, about the physical aspect of relationships. You might get very excited, very passionate about that. But if you go into that, you might encounter frustration. You might get frustrated. You might see delays with potential partners. You might see partners who want everything in too fast, partners who are kind of pushy. So I do feel like it's the time to kind of internally reevaluate how you want to see your romantic life and not get too proactive straight away with so many people. Yeah, be patient and take your time and be selective, be reasonable. You might feel quite passionate. You might feel like I need to spice my romantic life a little bit, spice it up. This could be the manifestation of Mars retrograde in your 5th house. So I think this is all I have for you, Aquarius rising or sun. I hope this was helpful. I wish you a comfortable Mars retrograde transit. And now we are going to Pisces, people. And Pisces, you have this transit, this Mars retrograde transit in your 4th house. Why? 4th house, which is supposed to be your safe haven, which is supposed to be your home, which is supposed to be your calm, peace, serene environment. And we have Mars retrograde here. There might be some conflicts within your family, within your home, some tension, some turbulence, some even a bit of a crisis, sporadic energy in your home. And I also think about people who have Mars natally in their 4th house. They're often brought up in quite a turbulent environment, and sometimes even aggressive, sometimes even abusive. It doesn't have to be the case for you. It doesn't have to be something that's happening for you over the next few months. But it's quite an uncomfortable energy having Mars in the 4th house, especially Mars retrograde. I have Mars in the 4th house, just conjunct my IC, and my childhood was difficult. I was brought up in quite an abusive environment, and I see manifestations of Mars. I saw them on a daily basis, and yeah, I'm glad I'm over it. I'm glad my childhood is over, because it wasn't safe haven for sure. So now you might see similar situations, conflicts with people in your family, maybe some old resentment coming up to the surface for you to deal with, to voice, to communicate, especially because this is happening in Gemini, the sign of communication, of talking, of discussions, sorting things out with your family members, bringing up hidden stuff, or like everything that was like the water under the bridge, dealing with it, voicing your opinions, standing up for yourself. Or there might be some difficult communication, difficult discussions that you have to go through with certain people in your family, and maybe cut ties with somebody in your family, like go back to the past and what did this person actually bring into my life? Did they bring me happiness? Did they bring me excitement? Did they bring me peace, kindness, softness? Or were they always a trouble? Again, you guys, I don't want to be too negative, but I do feel like it's almost like dealing with something and then being liberated, feeling at peace after Mars goes into direct motion on 12th of January. And yeah, it does feel like a turbulent time in your family. And also the 4th house is our deep sense of safety within ourselves, our subconscious, our security, internal security. You might feel turbulent yourself during this time, psychologically, mentally. You might feel a bit anxious, a bit unstable, a bit confused about where you want to live, where is your safe haven. Maybe some of you might feel like you need to change homes, and you'll go back to a certain place where you've been before, or a certain environment where you've been before. Or there might be some construction happening in your home as well. For some of you, changing the walls, changing your house, decorating, but it feels like a lot of action will be happening inside of your, behind the closed doors. Not many people will observe this, just you and your immediate environment, your family. Yeah, dealing with issues in regards to your mom or motherly figure could be important as well. Going over some conflicts and talking over old resentment, old wounds, and getting real, not hiding things anymore, not smoothing those sharp corners. But again, try to be more kind of willing to compromise, even though you have to stand in your own truth. Try to compromise, try to be patient with others, try to not hurt people too much, because emotions might be running high. It's like there's this feeling of this is my family, but things are kind of turbulent, and why is that? And I feel so angry about it, I feel so confused, or my living situation is not making me feel safe or happy. Why is that? And you'll have to go over that. So this is all I have for you, Pisces. It was the last sign. Oh my gosh, it was so fast. I thought that it's going to be a long reading, but long video, but all of the signs went so fast. And you guys, Pisces, I hope you have a comfortable Mars retrograde. I hope it's easy on you, and yeah, hope this helped. And I guess I'm signing off. I'll see you in my next video.